So today in this video we'll be discussing about the second method of building estimate, that is center line method. So the first method was long wall and short wall method. So this is a 2-room plan or a double room plan. Room number 1 having dimensions of 3 meter into 3 meter and room number 2 having dimensions of 2 meter into 3 meter. So as I have already discussed earlier that the first dimension will be considered as length and the second dimension will be considered as breadth. Similarly in room 2 also first dimension will be considered as length and the second dimension will be considered as breadth. The thickness of the wall is given as 0.3 meter. So now what we have to do is that if we get a plan like this, just make a center line in the plan, and now you can see this is the center line of this plan. So what we have to do in center line method is that we have to find the total length of this center line directly. In long wall and short wall method we have to find out the length once for long wall and once for short wall. The longer walls are considered as long wall and the shorter walls are considered as short wall. But in center line method, if we get a plan, suppose a single room plan or a double room plan, just make a center line of the plan and we have to find out the total length of the center line only. So let me show you how to do it. So as you can see here, I have cited a simple formula how to find out the center line calculation easily. So center line equal to summation of H plus summation of V, where H is horizontal and V is considered as vertical, and summation of H is equal to sum of center line of horizontal walls and summation of V is equal to sum of center line of vertical walls. So now what we have to do, we'll move to this plan again. So see, horizontal and vertical, we are considering horizontal and vertical walls. So these walls will be considered as horizontal, this as well, and these walls 1, 2, 3, these will be considered as vertical. Okay, now coming back to the formula. So first let's find out the horizontal walls. H equal to, let's move on to the plan again. So what was the thickness of the wall? 0.3 meter. So as we drew a center line in the wall, so we will consider half of the thickness, that will be 0.15 meter. So H equals to 0.15 meter plus, see the room dimension, length and breadth. So what will be the length now? 3 meter. 0.15 is the thickness, 3 meter is the length, plus now we need to find out this distance. So we already know the thickness of the wall, that is 0.3 meter. So we will directly consider it as 0.3 meter plus, so what is the length of the room 2? 2 meter plus, again there is a wall over here and we will consider half the thickness of this wall, that is half of 0.3, that will be 0.15 meter, and the total will be 5.6. After that, so we can see here there are two horizontal walls, 1 and 2. That will give us 5.6 into 2. Now moving on, we will find out the vertical walls, length of the vertical walls. So there are 3 vertical walls, you can clearly see that. So let's start from here. So the thickness of the wall was 0.3 meter here also, and we will consider the half of the thickness of the wall, that will be 0.15 again, 0.15 meter. And you clearly know that from here to here it's 3 meter only, and from here to here it's 3 meter in this room also, plus 3 meter, plus again there is a wall here, and we'll consider the half of thickness, that is 0.15 meter, equals to 3.3 into, why we are multiplying? In case of horizontal wall there were 2 walls, and here we can see there are 3 vertical walls, 1, 2, 3. That means 3.3 into 3 will give us 9.9 meter. So now finally we'll find out the center line. CL equal to, what was the length of the horizontal walls? 11.2 meter, plus length of the vertical walls 9.9 meter, equals 21. This is addition. 11.2 meter plus 9.9 meter gives us 21.10. So this is the total length of the center line. Total length of the center line. So the main basic difference between the center line method and the long wall and short wall method is that in case of long wall and short wall method, we have to find differently the lengths for long wall and the lengths for short wall as well. But in case of center line method, we can find out the length directly. So this is all for this video. Thank you.